Hello everyone, my name is Min and I'm 25 years old. 4 years ago, I left my hometown to build a life in the city. Somewhere along the way, I almost forgot what a real sunrise looked like. Today, for the first time in years, I'm watching the sun rise over my hometown again. I never realized how much I had missed this simple moment until it was right in front of me. The sound of my alarm suddenly breaks the silence. Without even thinking, I reach over, turn it off, and jump out of bed. Everything happens so fast that my mind doesn't even have time to catch up. There's only one thought running through my head. I'm late. I rush toward the door almost instinctively, just like I did every morning in the city. Then I suddenly stop. I slowly turn around, look back at the room, and finally realize, oh, I'm home. There's no office waiting for me at 7 in the morning. It's funny how quickly we can change where we live, yet our habits refuse to leave us behind. 4 years of working in the city trained my body to wake up with anxiety before my eyes were even fully open. That fear of being late became part of who I was. I think it'll take a little more time before I learn how to wake up without carrying that feeling with me. Begin making my bed. It's such a small thing, but honestly, I rarely used to do it. Back then, I'd wake up and rush straight out the door. The blankets stayed exactly where they were until I came home late that night. Some nights I worked overtime until nearly midnight. By the time I got home, I barely had enough energy to change my clothes before falling asleep. But the longer I lived that life, the more I realized something. There are things money can buy, and there are things you slowly lose while chasing it. I sit down at the old wooden desk and tie my hair back. This desk has been here for years. The edges are worn smooth, and the surface is covered with little scratches left behind by time. Doesn't look anything like the modern desk I used to work at in the city. But somehow, today, there's nowhere else I'd rather be. I'm 25 years old. I don't have a stable job anymore. I have no idea what my future will look like. But for the first time in years, it finally feels like I'm living my own life instead of the life I thought I was supposed to live. Maybe starting over isn't the end of my story. Maybe this is where the real story finally begins. Today, I can finally take my time getting ready without worrying about being late. Back then, I used to think slowing down meant being lazy. Now, I see it differently. Sometimes, slowing down is the only way to remind yourself that you're actually living. After washing my face, I fill a small bowl with cold water and drop a few ice cubes into it. It's a simple habit I've only recently started, but I really enjoy it. The cold water wakes me up instantly. It feels like a quiet reminder that today is a brand new day and that I still have another chance to begin again. For years, I kept telling myself I didn't have enough time to take care of myself. Looking back, that wasn't really true. I had time, I just gave almost all of it to work and forgot to save even a little for myself. Those 4 years in the city taught me how to earn a living, but they also took something away from me. I slept less. I ate whatever was convenient. Most mornings, I woke up feeling stressed before my feet even touched the floor. I don't regret those years. Without them, I probably would have never found the courage to come home and start over. I step outside and take a deep breath. The morning air is cool, fresh, and unbelievably peaceful. For a moment, I simply stand there and listen. In the corner of the yard, my little succulent is still quietly growing. No one has been taking care of it every day, yet it found its own way to survive. Maybe people aren't so different. Sometimes we don't need perfect conditions. We just need the strength to keep growing, even when nobody notices. I pick up a pair of scissors and cut a few small flowers to place in a vase by the kitchen. Nothing fancy. I just want a little more life inside the house. Back in the city, I used to think buying flowers was a waste of money. They bloom for a few days, then they're gone. But now I think I understand. Some beautiful things aren't meant to last forever. They're simply meant to make an ordinary day feel a little more meaningful. Standing there, surrounded by the quiet of the countryside, I suddenly realized something. It's not that life has become slower, it's that I finally slowed down enough to notice it. For years, I was always chasing the next deadline, the next paycheck, the next goal. I never gave myself the chance to appreciate moments like these. Maybe this is what I had been searching for all along. At 25, I'm starting over with almost nothing, but somehow it doesn't feel like I'm losing everything anymore. It feels like I'm finally building a life that truly belongs to me. Every step I take from here will teach me something new, and every ordinary day will be another reason to be grateful that I came home. The morning sunlight slowly begins to fill my little kitchen. Out of habit, I open the refrigerator, hoping there's something left to eat. But inside, there's almost nothing. I think it's time for me to head to the market and buy some groceries.
không còn cái gì để ăn
My
nữa,
fridge
cho
is
nên mình
completely
sẽ
empty,
đi chợ,
and I'm
kiểu, mua
getting
một chút
really
quà về
hungry.
để ăn,
I'll
trong cái
probably
dịp
just
đón
pick
Tết
up a
này.
few
Cho
simple
nên các bạn theo
ingredients
dõi mình
that are
khi mình đi chợ,
quick
mình sẽ
and
kể
easy to
video cho ngày hôm
cook.
nay nhé.
The
Chợ
market
buổi
isn't far from here, so come along with me. The
hiện
sun
tại thì
is
trời đang
already
nắng
getting
và mình
pretty
sẽ mặc
strong,
áo và
so I
quần áo
put
trong
on a
để
long
phòng
sleeved
nắng và
shirt
bây giờ mình
before
đang đi
heading
chợ.
outside. I wheel my white scooter out into the yard. This is probably the most valuable thing I've ever bought with my own money. Every time I see it, I think about the 20-year-old version of myself. Back then, my salary wasn't very high, but I was determined to save enough to buy my very first scooter. To make that happen, I cut back on almost everything. I stopped buying things I didn't really need. I skipped little treats and saved every dollar I could. Some goals can't be reached in a month or two. They only come true because of small, consistent choices made every single day. Eventually, I saved enough and I finally bought it. What I love most about a countryside market isn't the food, it's the atmosphere. I didn't realize how much I missed sounds like these. No traffic horns, no endless phone notifications, just the slow rhythm of an ordinary morning, with people chatting, birds singing, and shop owners greeting familiar faces.
Khi mua mua nhá. Su su.
As I walk past one of the fruit stalls, I stop for a moment.
Hai cái bánh này.
They have banana leaf cakes. When I was little, my mom would always bring one home for me after every trip to the market. It was such a simple snack, but seeing it again today brings back so many memories. Maybe memories are like familiar scents. All it takes is one small reminder,
Với lại hai
and
quả cà chua.
suddenly you're transported back to a different time in your life.
Đấy sẽ đưa 15 quả nhỏ này.
After leaving the traditional market, I stopped by a small supermarket nearby to pick up a few things I still need for the kitchen. Just some cooking oil, seasonings, fruit, and a few everyday essentials. Nothing fancy, just enough to start filling this little kitchen again. I've noticed that I don't shop the way I used to. Every time I pick something up, I ask myself the same question: do I really need this? Maybe that's one of the lessons I brought home after years of working in the city and returning with almost
Mì
nothing.
tôm.
I've learned to appreciate money in a way I never did before, because now I know exactly how much time and effort every dollar represents. I still don't know how I'll make money in the future. I don't know whether this new chapter will be easy or difficult. There are still so many questions I can't answer yet, Dot. But at least today, I have a place to come home to. I have a small kitchen where I can cook my own meals, and I have a peaceful morning that reminds me why I decided to come back, Dot, for now. I think that's already a beautiful beginning.
32.000 em.
Yeah.
Con em.
When I got home, I set the grocery bags down on the kitchen counter and looked through everything I had bought. All of this for just $10. Wasn't much, but somehow it felt like enough for a new beginning. This kitchen has been here for as long as I can remember. Almost nothing has changed since the last time I came home. The old gas stove is still in the same place. A few pots are neatly stacked in the corner, while the spice shelf is filled with half-empty bottles and expired seasonings that have been sitting there for years. No one really lives here full-time anymore. For the past few years, I only came home once, maybe twice a year. The trip from the city to my hometown is almost 600 kilometers. Every time I had a few days off, I'd rush home to see my family, then pack my suitcase and head back before I even had time to slow down. Sometimes I was only here for 2 days. Just when I started feeling comfortable, it was already time to leave again. But this time is different, Dot. For the first time in years, I'm not counting down the days until I have to go back. The truth is, I'm not very good at cooking, not because I'm lazy, but because during those 4 years in the city, I barely had the chance to learn. Most evenings I got off work when it was already dark. On busy days, I wouldn't get home until 9 or even 10 at night. By then, all I wanted was to shower, crawl into bed, and fall asleep. The moment I crack an egg into the pan, hot oil suddenly splashes toward me. I guess every new beginning feels awkward at first. Every new skill comes with a few mistakes. If we quit the first time something scares us, we'll never discover what we're actually capable of. Coming back home felt exactly the same, Dot. When I decided to leave my job, I was scared. I was scared of running out of money, scared that people would think I had failed, scared of starting over at 25 while everyone else seemed to be moving forward. But I also knew something else, Dot. If fear kept making my decisions for me, 10 years from now, I'd probably still be living a life that never truly felt like mine. Someone once told me that happiness is eating the most delicious food. Dot, maybe that's true, Dot. But today, I think happiness can be much simpler than that. Sometimes happiness is just cooking a meal with your own hands, without checking the time every few minutes, without rushing, without feeling guilty for slowing down, just enjoying the quiet while the food cooks. Today's meal is nothing special, just something simple. And yet, somehow it tastes better than many expensive meals I bought in the city. Maybe it's because, for the first time in a very long while, I'm not eating because I'm exhausted. I eating because I'm finally at peace. I carry my food outside. The warm sunlight fills the yard. A gentle breeze moves through the trees, and birds keep singing somewhere above me. As I sit there, I suddenly realize something. Happiness isn't always about having more. Sometimes it's simply having enough time to finish a warm meal before it gets cold. I pour myself a glass of water and carry it back to my room. Then I sit down beside the old wooden desk by the window. I open my wallet. There isn't much left inside. I take out every bill and count it slowly. $30. That quote S. All I have left after today's grocery trip. A few months ago, that number probably would have scared me. But today, it doesn't. This $30 is all I need to get through the rest of the month. And for the first time in a long time, I believe I can make it work. Back in the city, $30 would have disappeared before I even noticed. Rent, food, transportation. Life there had a way of taking money faster than I could earn it. I open a small notebook and write down everything I spent today. About $12 in my pocket this morning, about $10 spent on groceries, less than $1 left from today's shopping money. It may seem like a tiny amount, but I still fold it carefully and drop it into my little piggy bank. I quote, been saving this way for years. The first time, it helped me buy my very first motorbike. Maybe this time, it'll become something even more meaningful. A better kitchen, a little garden. Or maybe the peaceful life I've always imagined. People sometimes ask why I keep track of every dollar. The answer is simple. Saving money isn't about having less. It quotes about knowing where your life is going. Back then, I spent money without thinking. Coffee, after work, random things. I didn't really need. Little purchases that disappeared from my memory as quickly as they disappeared from my wallet. I don't want to live like that anymore. From now on, every dollar should have a purpose, just like every day should. Before ending the day, I spend a little time practicing English and Chinese. I quote, am still far from fluent. Sometimes I make mistakes.
大家好，我姚明，今年25岁，今天我是学中文的一天。我不会说很多中文，但是我想每天学一天。我希望之后可以听懂，可以自由中文。我会面面学习，面面进步。明天继续加油！很开心见到你，我爱你。
Thank you so much for watching my vlog and for supporting me. Your likes, comments, and encouragement truly mean a lot to me. I hope you'll continue following my journey and watching my upcoming videos. See you in the next vlog. Bye.